My name's Lexi Yarbrough. Um, I'm a diversified mixed media artist. I do tattoos for my main income, and I do different art projects, murals, any kind of painting, any kind of project really, any kind of artistic thing. I'd probably be interested in helping out with people in doing so. Describe myself, I guess, just a diversified artist.
Okay. And what kind of issues or problems do you see in your community?
I think something that I might think is a big problem would be people thinking that the regular expected life choices are like what we're supposed to be doing. I think we're confused about what a regular life is. I think a big problem is people getting caught up in, what the government says, or not, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say government, what advertisements, what media says is right, like getting married. I have nothing wrong with getting married, but I feel like, that's something that's in our brain from the time we're born is like find someone, get married, get a 9-to-5 job and settle down. When I think, that's how it might have been back in the day when we needed help, but we don't really need that anymore. We need to just be creative and think of new things and develop instead of trying to take care of more people, younger people, or produce, because we needed children to help us build things, but now we have help, we have friends, we have people who need those jobs and who will help us, so we don't need to add on to the family for that extra help. So you just, you adopt a family, you get a group, you get a commute of people, and you make a goal and you make big plans that are different instead. And I feel like a problem is people doing these jobs that are unnecessary and life that maybe they just thought it was the way to be because of commercials or television, but we're easily manipulated and we're easily told what to do, and we're easily, because we're human, we learn and we develop and we adapt, and I feel like we're adapting in a way that's less creative and more structured to help things. I don't know. Instead of having commercials for things we don't need, like soap, like shampoo, all the different kinds, and and then all the different cigarettes, all the different cars, all the different sports, all this stuff. And then I just feel like these are all just things that distract us from like being artistic and being ourselves and thinking in our minds. And television, I think television is just the worst thing in the world, television commercials, because it brainwashes people to thinking like that's what we want our goals to be. Maybe just because they don't see commercials of other things, you just see commercials of that. So if they see that, maybe that looks good. But maybe if they saw commercials of like a beautiful farm and like a beautiful horse with a beautiful lake and a beautiful orchid, and like they would be like, oh, that's the American dream, not having like a sports car and beer and pizza, like maybe having a beautiful a beautiful wife who gardens and a beautiful, awesome car or whatever that gets you to and from, or a truck or something, or like beautiful boat for your lake, or beautiful trees. Be proud of like your things that you grow from the earth instead of unnatural things we don't need. I feel like all our commercials are just reproduce things in different ways just to sell things, like this shampoo with this thing and this hair product and this makeup and this beer and this food. And we should really just, that's there. But the commercials should be about new things, new inventions, new inspiring things I've never seen before, and like not things to, I don't know. Or there just shouldn't be television at all. There's just so many things that distract us from artistic stuff. I think that's a big problem.
Okay. And so how do you feel like that can be improved? How do you think that could
I think things that are supposed to like suppress us and make us used to things like television. It's a comfort. It's like a babysitter. You know, like that's what you do. You watch TV. You have nothing else to do, or if you want your kids, like you watch TV. It's awful. So I think minus the television and minus other things like. I know video games are pretty, you know, I've just never been into them, and I don't want to be like, video games suck, because some are actually really cool and give you, but I just feel like that gives you the stimulation of doing things that you actually could be physically doing. So it's just like, you know, there's plenty of movies that kind of hint to the thing of like people later in the future not physically doing much, just sitting in one place and having everything done. I feel like video games are kind of like the gateway to that, like sitting somewhere and doing things, and you actually get the adrenaline and the feeling that you're doing things and building things, but you're not doing anything. So it's so weird. I feel like it's all manipulated ways to control us, so we're distracted from like actually bettering ourselves and actually creating new things, as if they're scared of what we're capable of. So they have to give us all these things to distract us so that we don't, and then we just work and make money for them. You know, like these 9-to-5 jobs and the taxes and stuff. Like that shouldn't be the jobs. There shouldn't be so many restaurants. There shouldn't be so many stores. It should be more like, I don't know, there's so many different products and they're all the same thing, and then people are it's just the easy way out. It's just the easy way to make money. How are we going to make money? Let's make a product that sells and just change it a little bit and change the name. Like, that's how everyone thinks.
So how could that, like, what kind of tangible, like if you had a group of people to work with, what kind of tangible first step could you take to improve that situation?
Maybe do a program for kids or something. Maybe kids who are like, for younger people who are stuck at home watching television or playing video games. Maybe it might even not be the kid's choice necessarily that they want to, like, you know, hear about it at first. Maybe their parents might think it's a good idea for them or something, and be like, I don't know, if it's free, you know, like people don't have money for this stuff. Like let's just like, and like have these kids, instead of like being at home and like watching TV and television, like maybe they could like all start a group and we can all come and like think of other stuff to do. Like, oh, you like this cartoon? Why do you like this cartoon? Why do you like this video game? Do you want to build that ship? Like, you know, let's make a cool ship. Let's build this thing. Let's make these things your reality instead of, and like maybe start with the younger people, because I feel like that's just a more pure place to start. Adults too, like, are you bored at home? You find yourself watching TV all the time? You want to come hang out with a bunch of people who are down to like create stuff, who have supplies? You got some free time? You want to help children build stuff? You want to hold some wood up for them so they can like build this car? You want to watch, that would be cool. And then we can get so much stuff donated. Like, pretty much you can just like put out a Craigslist saying, do you have extra lumber on your land and you want it to come get picked up or something? And people could hit you up and be like, I don't have a car, but I have all this freaking stuff. You can come get it. And then we'll just use what it is. And then just have kids come and do something. It'd be like an after-school program if they're bored. And then like that would inspire them later when they grow up to be adults and be like, man, one time I did this really cool thing and it was creative and it helped a bunch of kids do stuff, and adults too. And it could just all be free voluntarily, and we just get a bunch of free stuff, and then like, don't expect the best and hope for better things, and like things are gonna be awesome, and there's no way that wouldn't maybe get a sponsor one day or something,
Cool. If you had all the money you wanted, all the power, what would you do to improve the world?
I would definitely open up a huge building for like something like I was just talking about, like a bunch of people to come together, and like I would want it to be big so that it could have a bunch of different things going on, but it would definitely be all about like teaching, just showing people. Being a tattoo artist, I think a big part of my job is not just giving in to somebody's first wants. Like I know, people come in and they want a certain thing, but sometimes it's amazing, yeah. But sometimes I feel like they are only getting that because they've seen it so many times, which I feel like is what's wrong with society, is those commercials and those things. You see it so many times, that's what you're used to. You need to be shown your other possibilities, your other capabilities. So I tell people, I'm like, why do you want this tattoo? What does it symbolize? Oh, I want my girlfriend's name because I love her. Well, let's do like a beautiful freaking organic plant that blooms one flower. That's her favorite flower. Let's do like a beautiful piece. Like, lettering's beautiful, but lettering's symmetrical and your body is not. And so I just don't like the way lettering looks on people a lot of the time. And I'd rather work with your muscles and stuff like that. So I feel like people don't even think that's possible because they haven't been to a good tattoo artist. They haven't been to a custom artist. They've only been to like street shops and flash shops is what we call them, and they just like pick something off the wall and trace it and put it on you and give you whatever you want because they just want money. You can still get money. You just have to like put in some heart and thought about what this person wants and what will look cool. Like, I'm inspired because I don't want to take a shitty photo of a name. I'm not going to post that online and be proud of it. I want to post a beautiful new creation that I just created, and I want a lot of people to be impressed and be like, I've never seen that before. That's inspiring. So if I were to open up a business or something, it'd be all about just showing people new things and like have all types of different stuff there. Like from, oh, I've never done pottery. Oh, cool, we have a class. It's totally, like any kind of art, anything that would help people build things or something. Just have someone who like really loves that and wants to teach it. I would love to do that.
So what are you doing now that inspires you?
I tattoo. I also, I mainly tattoo, but every...
Why does it inspire you?
It inspires me because a lot of people come to me because they want a tattoo, and they sometimes want a tattoo that I think if they went into a regular shop, they would do it for them, and I don't think they would be happy about it a couple of years later because it's such like a... And in most tattoo shops, because I've worked in millions of tattoo shops, there's all different kinds. There's people there's private studios, and then there's street shops, and then there's like clientele only shops. There's all different types of personalities in shops. But the worst shops are the shops that are like, I feel like they're almost more old school, because it's all, tattoos have adapted, just like science adapts, everything adapts, art adapts. Art and tattoos today is much different than it was 10 years ago, and I think the street shops are just like old bad habits that just keep sticking, that like don't, we need to develop, we need to evolve. And so I feel like what inspires me, makes me feel good about my job is that I am not going to just do that nautical star or that barbed wire, I'd be like, okay, cool, what? I've seen that tattoo done a lot of times, like I kind of want to do something different. I want to post it and I want to be proud of it, and who knows, maybe we can enter it in a competition. And you know what? No one's going to say no to that. Nobody is. Nobody has ever said no to that. So they're like, oh, cool, you want to do something unique and special on me? Oh, right, that's cool. I didn't know, like, you do that. Like, well, yeah, that's what a tattoo artist should do. You're an artist. You're not a tattoo artist if you're just doing tattoos.
And then how could people find you if they wanted a tattoo from you?
I guess unless you kind of know who I am, I guess you kind of have to look. Hopefully, people, I do a lot of networking online. So I'll share a bunch of posts about, I have a tattoo page. I don't know why people don't like Facebook so much, because my business revolves around Facebook, really. It's where I make all my consultations and appointments and, well, emails too, but people are just really more familiar with Facebook than emails, and I get way more Facebook appointments than emails. And I have a tattoo page, and you can look at my portfolio, and so pretty much I just carry around my business cards and go out. And
what's your page?
My page, Lexi.ink. It's Lexi.ink, just Lexi.ink. And you can just type that in Google and it'll go right to it instead of .com, .ink. It's really special.
Cute.
Yeah.